Let's get serious. Habaki!
What is going on, everybody? NestleOverXOX here. Welcome to what is going to be my review on the Destiny 2 raid, the Leviathan raid. If you haven't played the raid already, there will be major spoilers ahead. Obviously, if you don't care, just keep watching. Um, there won't be any raid gameplay in the background since I don't have any extra raid gameplay, but there's just going to be some Destiny gameplay. If you have played the raid, great. I'll be explaining stuff. If you haven't, go play the raid. Fucking if you want. I don't know. I don't care. Anyway, I want to go ahead and give my review on the raid, how I feel about it, how I feel certain encounters play. And generally, how I feel about the raid. Leviathan. First of all, I want to make the statement that some of you will agree with and some of you won't. I truly believe after playing the raid for two weeks, I've played probably 15 times. The Leviathan is the worst raid that has ever come out of Destiny and has ever been made by Bungie in the history of time. I would rather play Crota 20 times than play Leviathan once. I will explain why. The setting and the location are actually pretty alright. I'm okay with the really regal looking stuff. I like most of the raid gear. I like the weapons. For the most part, they don't have anything interesting to them though. They don't have any interesting perks. The only interesting thing about the raid guns is they have 2 perks. Like that's not interesting. Like when you think about it, Vault of Glass guns had the ability to kill oracles faster. The Crota Zen guns had the ability to kill Hive faster. There was actually a reason to get the raid guns because they had unique perks, unique specific perks for those guns. And this doesn't have that. It doesn't have any of that, which sucks for sure. So the guns while looking cool, some of them are good. Some of them are probably best in class. Honestly, the raid scout is probably best in class for the scout slot in the secondary. But other than that, I haven't found anything useful. Other than that, the auto rifle is not that great. The hand cannon's all right. It's not the best. I could use an old fashioned and do way better, or better devils and do way better for myself. And all the guns are kind of mediocre. They just don't have anything useful to anything unique to them. But the setting is cool. As you start the raid, it's pretty grand. It's pretty cool. You're on a giant world-eating ship. That's pretty badass. Um, you know, I like the underground area. We'll get to the underground area in a bit, but I like the underground area as it is an underground area that you can move about the ship with. That's cool. Um, so when you start the raid, you embark up the thing, and I like how there's Cabal to meet you and they don't shoot you, and that's pretty cool. I like I like all that. I like the staff charging section. The first time you do it, I like the staff charging section. The first time you do it, I like the staff charging section. The first time you do it. Um, Also, I'm going to be going through the fights in the order which is the first week because the fights rotate, which is stupid, and I don't like that at all. Um, but the first week, it was baths first. The Cabal baths. So you basically you charge the staffs, which is a pretty fun fight. I actually enjoyed that. You get loot, um, which is cool. And then the baths start, and the baths on my first run, I hated the baths. The more I play the baths, the more I enjoy it. I still don't really enjoy the baths too much because it's just like kind of a better version of totems from Taken King Raid, King's Fall. It doesn't really feel that fun to stand on 4 plates, and then just move back and forth to the center, to the plate, to the center, to the plate, to the center, to the plate. It's just boring. Like, none of the enemies pose any challenge. None of the enemies are actually a threat to you. You know, it's just monotonous work. It's like a fucking boring chore doing baths. It's like a chore. You just go to the plate, you go to the plate, you pull out your fucking Hawthorne's Field Forge shotgun, you hold right trigger until the naked fucking giant cabal is dead, rinse, repeat, everybody goes to the middle, fucking Stormcaller pops the super, everybody else shoots the lamps, bada bing, bada boom, fight's done. Like, it's super boring. Um, and not at all intuitive. The problem I have with, and you'll notice this if you watch my first raid run, which will be going up on YouTube at some point as soon as I figure out how to make it work with my Sony Vegas, is that the problem is it's not intuitive as to what you need to do. Now, the more I play it, the more I realize the fact that when you stand on the plates, there's a little white thing on the chain that pulls down, and that's your indicator. That's not made clear at all. There needs to be some kind of buff or debuff to let you know you're actually doing something besides just the chains. The chains is a unique way of showing it, but it's not very intuitive. It took us 3 hours to figure out, hey, the chains actually do something. And that's not okay. It needs more explanation, I feel like. There needs to be some kind of buff that you get, like, you know, when you stand on, because the problem is if you get that psionic protection buff, anytime you're in the water, even if you're not on the plate, anytime you're in the water, you just, it just starts draining your protection. So, if you're standing on the plate, it should give you a little thing that says, like, you know, plate holder, like a little, even a little buff that just says plate holder. That would actually let you know, hey, we're supposed to stand on the plates, this is important, right? Make it more intuitive to actually let people know, hey, you need to stand on the plates. This is important. That's the only criticism I have for that fight. That fight's just kind of boring in general. Like, there's not much to it. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's just kind of meh. It's a meh fight. It's easy. It's lame. I don't like it. Eh. That's all I have to say about Bath. It is whatever. It's kind of a throwaway fight. Like, you just forget about it. And then you get no loot at the end. You just get a key, and we'll talk about the keys after I finish talking about the main raid mechanics. Talk about the keys in the underground last, and then yeah. So, after you finish baths, then you have to go back to the middle and do the staff charging section again. Unless you know how to get into the underground, but let's just assume you don't know how to get into the underground. You have to do the staff charging section again. So you have to do shit. You have to do a mechanic that you've already done before for no loot. For no loot, you get nothing. You go back to the middle and you do the same shit that you've already done before, which could get done quickly, could take forever, right? You have to do the same shit that you've already done before, all right? Which is bullshit and stupid and ridiculous. Maybe actually make a different mechanic. No, let's just do the same shit we've already done before for 500 glimmer. Yay. So happy. But that sucks. Then you go down into Pleasure Gardens, which is by far the worst raid encounter I've ever played, ever. I've never played a raid encounter that has sucked ass more than Pleasure Gardens. I hate Pleasure Gardens with every fiber of my being, and I wish Pleasure Gardens was gone and removed from the game entirely. Pleasure Gardens gives me no pleasure, alright? Pleasure Gardens sucks. If you don't know what Pleasure Gardens is, you basically walk into a room, you kill some ads, and 2 people grab these fucking stupid little lasers. Everyone else grabs these little purple ball sack balls, and they walk around stealthily while avoiding the doges, and grab these buffs so that they can kill the doges. And that's the fight. That's the whole fight. Being fucking Metal Gear Solid. That's the whole fucking fight. The whole encounter is a stealth section. Alright? Maybe it's just personal preference, but holy dog shit, I hate stealth in video games. Alright? Unless it's not actually an encounter for loot. Ergo, the Gorgons. The Gorgons were fun. The Gorgons were cool. Do you know why the Gorgons were fun and cool? Because they weren't an actual fucking encounter. They were a nuisance that you had to get through to get to the next encounter. Gorgons weren't actually a fucking thing. Yes, there was the secret chest you could get in the Gorgon maze that gave fucking nothing, but that was it. You could just go through the Gorgons. You could have everybody quit and solo Gorgons. Can you do that with the Leviathan raid? No, you fucking can't. You have to basically it's a communications test. The entire fucking goddamn Pleasure Gardens fight is a communications test. Can your team communicate well enough to get 4 people through the fucking underground without getting seen by any of the stupid dogs? That's the entire fucking fight. Then you have to spread, damage your dogs, but don't kill them, because if you kill them, then the beasts grow restless. And if the beasts grow restless, you have about 10 seconds before they fucking go and start doing their psionic howl again. So you have no time to do shit. So you have to damage them, but don't kill them, and then come back to the safe room so you don't die. Gee, what a great fucking mechanic. Holy shit. I can't wait to do Pleasure Gardens again. It's a communications nightmare. It has nothing to do with actual skill at the game. It has nothing to do with mechanical skill. And even if it didn't have anything to do with mechanical skill, you know, some fights don't have anything to do with mechanical skill. They have to do everything with mental skill. This has nothing to do with mental skill at all either. It's not a puzzle you have to solve. It's not something you have to figure out. It's literally, can you fucking be patient enough, and can you communicate to your LFG group enough to figure this out so you can get through it? It's mind-numbingly boring. It's stupid. It's frustrating, and I hate every second of it. I hate Pleasure Gardens with every fiber of my being, and I wish that it would go away. With that said, the loot you get from it is also trash. I was gonna say the loot you get from it is good, but you could end up with nothing because the loot drops are stringent as fuck. I'm not even sure what drops from that. I've gotten armor, I've gotten weapons. It doesn't matter, I guess. But after you finish Pleasure Gardens, if you ever finish Pleasure Gardens, you leave, and then guess what you do again? The fucking staff charging shit. Again. For a third time. You have to do the staff charging thing. Again. The same shit you've already done twice already, you have to do again, a third time. For 500 Glimmer. Then, after you do that, you go into Gauntlet. Which, I thought would actually be pretty fun. And it is, if you're one of the 2 runners. If you're not, get ready to have one of the most boring fights imaginable. Like, basically, like, it's kind of like Crota, you know, where there was one person that did everything and everyone else was just along for the ride for Crota, right? The thing about this fight is the 4 people on the plates, right? They just shoot triangles and knife some scions. That's your job. Literally, your job is to shoot a triangle on a wall and knife a scion. And then get back on your fucking triangle. And once again, it's a communications test. This whole raid is just a communications test. Can you communicate with your raid team well enough to get through the fight? It has nothing to do with actual gun skill or mechanical skill or puzzle solving knowledge at all. It literally is, can you communicate with your team well enough? You can't out-level the content. No amount of light increase is going to matter. No amount of gear increase is going to matter. It's not going to matter because none of it, all of it has everything to do with communication, and it sucks, and I hate every minute of it. The 4 people on the plates get the most boring job in the world. Like I said, you either shoot You shoot an arrow, you knife a scion. You shoot an arrow, you knife a scion. You shoot an arrow, you knife a scion. That's your job. That's all you do, the whole fight. Now, everyone in the gauntlet, you get to be American Ninja Warrior. You get to be a badass. Can you do platforming? Great. You're going to be in the fucking gauntlet, and you're going to kick some ass, right? That's fun. The gauntlet's fun. I like the gauntlet. If you're running, the gauntlet's fun. If you're not running, get ready for the most boring shit ever. I saw a video, I can't remember who it was. I subscribed to him yesterday. I'll put the link to his channel down in the description. I can't remember who it is off the top of my head, but I will put the link to his channel down in the description. But I watched his review of Destiny 2 overall, and when he was talking about the raid, he was talking about Gauntlet, and he was like, imagine, right, if you will, if you were playing a game of paintball, right? You went out, you got a bunch of new paintball gear, right? And you're about to go play some paintball with your friends, right? And you're all excited. You're like, man, I can't wait to go play some paintball. And all you want to do is, get in the ring and fucking jump around and hide behind cover, fucking, pop out, and kick everybody's ass, and you're being a badass with your paintball gun. I don't know how paintball works, but and then when you get to the paintball ring, they're like, all right, we got you. Put all your gear on and aim at this wall and shoot these stationary balloons. And you're like, really? Seriously? That's Gauntlet. That's the extent of Gauntlet. Because all you're doing, you're like, all I want to do is I want to kill mans. I want to jump around. I want to do stuff. I want to fight. I want to be a badass. And you get there, and it's like, stand here and shoot some triangles. And you're like, really? That's it? That's all I get, huh? Shoot some triangles. Great. That's... Whew. What will you do next? What will you do next? So that fight sucks unless you're running, which, to be fair, everybody gets to run at the end. I don't really know what else to say about Gauntlet. Gauntlet is stupid. I don't like Gauntlet at all. Then after you finish Gauntlet, you get to go back and do the staff charging thing. Again. Fucking, like... Oh, and by the way, you could get no loot from any of these fights, by the way. You could absolutely just get keys to chests in the underground and tokens and get no loot. Because I've had it happen to me before where I've gotten no loot from anything up to the final boss. And the only piece of loot that drops is final boss loot. I've had that happen to me a lot. But when you get to the final boss, it is a pretty decent boss. It's the only piece of the fight. It's the only piece of the raid that I feel was done fairly well. I still don't like the amount of communication it takes to get it done, though. I do like the fact that the inside team has got a lot of things they need to watch out for. There's a lot of stuff you gotta be moving. You gotta be doing stuff. You gotta get your right scion. You make sure you get the ads. You gotta make sure you take the guy's shield down. You gotta make sure you know what your damage rotations are. That's fine. I enjoy that. What I don't enjoy is the having to call out the symbols for the scions. That I don't enjoy. I wish people inside, all three people saw the same symbol, and that was the scion you had to hit. That would be much better of a system than all three people have different symbols. All three people have to call out all three scions, and then you have to knife the one that isn't called. That's so much work. It's so intensive, and it's so frustrating, especially when you're running with LFG groups. It is massively frustrating. It is infuriating. I hate that. I hate it so much. That fight just that little bit of it is frustrating. The rest of it's fine, honestly. The damage is fine. The damage dealing sections are fine. The instant kill mechanic thing where he does his praise the sun thing is fine. The all that's fine. I don't like the focus on communication, but honestly, the boss fight is the only redeemable part of the raid, and it's the only really hard part of the raid as well. I enjoy the boss fight, but I wish they would fix a little bit of the communication aspects of it, because most of this raid is just a communications check. Can you communicate with your team to get the thing done? Because most of the other raids you can do without communication. Like, you can no communication King's Fall if you really, really need to. You can't no mic this raid. Like, you just can't. If you don't have a microphone, good luck finding a raid group. You'll never find one. You'll never get the raid done. And then after that, you know, the raid's over. So with the fights explained, let's talk about, you know, other things. I already talked about the setting. I already talked about the raid gear. The armor looks nice, some of it. I like the Warlock chest. I like the Warlock gauntlets and the boots. I like the Titan gear. The Hunter gear's alright. You know, it looks alright. It's not as good as the Optimacy set that Test sells, but I guess that's all just personal preference, you know. Some people will like it, some people won't. It is what it is. But the thing I have major issues with is the underground and the loot stringency of this raid. The underground, every fight you get a key. You have to go to the underground by pulling a series of levers to lead you to this underground maze, which should have been in the raid to begin with, which is where you should go in the raid. You shouldn't be doing the staff charging bits, and you can actually skip the staff charging bits if you go underground. I feel like you should be forced to do that anyway. I feel like you should do the staff charging bits once. You should get diverted underground, and you should have to go underground every single time. After the first fight, you should be required to do that. You shouldn't be even allowed to go back and do the staff charging bits again. You should be forced to go into the underground. And they give you these keys for these chests, which is fine. The problem I have is that you only get certain keys for certain chests, which sucks. And some of them, you have to do this stupid puzzle where you kill watchers before they alert everybody, which is so stupid and so boring and so monotonous and so padding and it's ridiculous. I hate that mechanic. I hate the watchers. They're annoying and they're boring to kill. It's almost not even worth going into the underground to actually get those chests, because they're not worth it. They give you 300 level exotics. Woohoo, I'm already 305. I don't care. I don't care about your 300 level exotics. I don't care. Alright, they're not useful to me. Oh good, exotic engrams. Yay. I don't care. Yay, legend. And they might even give you exotics. They might give you a legendary engram and some tokens. Yay. Legendary engrams and tokens. I could go get a legendary engram from pulling it off of a goddamn fucking basic bitch chest on patrol on Earth. Why would I need to do the raid to get that? Like, I've got 15 sitting on the ground in the boss fight that I can't pick up because I've already got 10 in my fucking inventory. But thanks for the extra legendary engram chest. I appreciate it. The underground chests are useless. The underground bit is useless. The underground bit is frustrating and confusing. I do enjoy the underground bit. I wish it was more intuitive, and I wish it led you to fights better. But, you know, it's annoying. But that's pretty much it. That's all I can think of right now. I have not enjoyed this raid at all. Now, challenge mode is not out yet, and hard mode is not out yet. Hard mode comes out in October. You know, it comes out in October. That's all I really can say. Hard mode comes out in October. I don't think I really am interested in even playing it though. Like, yay, hard mode comes out in October. I don't care. Especially since the drops are broken and I've already gotten 2 hard mode drops already. Like the hand cannon, the sniper, the fusion, shotgun are not supposed to drop yet, and I've already gotten the hand cannon and the sniper to drop for me already. Um, those are hard mode drops, and I've already gotten them. Plenty of other people have gotten them as well. Drops are broken. Um, you know, it's not good. Like, it's not good. You know. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video there. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you did. Let me know what you guys think about the new raid in the comments below, and I will see you guys later. Bye bye.
success. You have done it. champion of the elders, yes? You have won. Treasure awaits in Crystal Barrow.